Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you're that happy when I'm done. I just have to say, I'm very honored to be here today. I'm reminded of that old Groucho Marx line about who wants to be part of a club that had me as a member. This place has been so inspirational and so foundational in my life, and that my life at Evergreen is a story that I share constantly, and it's a story I share with my students, and I want you to know that I trust you all with my babies. And there are some institutions in this state, who I will not mention, where I will not send my children to. I will not send my children to places where blackface is tolerated. I will not send my children to places where people want to touch their hair. I will only send my children to places where they are loved and cared for, and I know if my children come here, they will have that. I gotta tell you all, I've had a hell of a year. Over the last year, I've sat down with Barack Obama, I've sat down with Joe Biden, I've sat down with Bill Gates, and I sat down with the Chinese President Xi Jinping. But none of those got me today like coming on campus. Like I was walking on campus and it just felt like home, and I got tight in my chest. So much of my life has happened here. So much of my life has happened on the Tacoma campus. I wouldn't be who I am today if I wasn't an Evergreen student. I arrived at Evergreen in 2002 in that kind of weird America lost its mind period between 9/11 and the start of the Iraq War. And this is the place I needed to be. I stand on the shoulders of academic giants, people like Willie Parsons and R.T. Young. Maxine Mims started a campus. Like, think about that idea. She's like, you know what, I'm gonna start a campus for poor and working people in the middle of the city of Tacoma, and 30, 40 years later, it's still there, and I'm an heir to that legacy. When I went to the Evergreen campus, when I showed up on the Evergreen Tacoma campus, I immediately felt loved. I was an evening student, and I was the youngest person on the campus, and all these just beautiful, amazing old women took me under their wings. I had like 50 aunts, and I was working at UPS, and I had this kind of schedule where I would wake up at 3 in the morning, go to work at UPS, come home, put food in the crock pot, day sleep, wake up, eat the crock pot, go to class. And during the holidays, it got hard. And some of my classmates would say, baby, are you taking care of yourself? There were so many granddaughters I was introduced to. It was just, it was family. And the thing we missed this with Evergreen Tacoma campus. It's basically Washington State's only HBCU. And when you walk in there, when you walk in that campus, you feel like the ethos of that campus. In the Sankofa bird, you enter to learn and you depart to serve. And so that's my story, entering to learn and departing to serve. And then after that, I was like, well, I need more of this Evergreen thing. And I came out into Olympia. And I'll tell you what, coming from Tacoma to Olympia is a bit of a culture shock, not gonna lie. But I felt welcomed on this campus. I felt loved on this campus. I felt pushed on this campus. Michael Vavris was formational in my worldview and understanding. I would not be the teacher I am and have the instruction that I have if Dr. Larry Mosqueda hadn't taken my head and just shaken it. If you never had a Mosqueda class, it's like getting your brain thrown in a box, shook, and then thrown back on the ground and saying, now go find your path. It's an amazing, amazing journey. Also here at Evergreen, I met my wife, and I'm really sad she can't be here today. She's in Hong Kong right now. My school sent 100 students to China as guests of the president of China. I also started an 11-year love affair with a person named Sally Mae. Student loan joke, y'all missed that. There it goes. And then when I got to my first job, I felt prepared. The MIT program prepares teachers better than any other program in the state. In my classroom, I don't like taking student teachers on because I love the kids, I love the work. I don't want to hand that over. Why would I just give my babies and my space over? The only people I'll take in my classroom though are greener teachers. And when I get greener teachers, they're prepared. When I get greener teachers, they're passionate about learning. When I get greener teachers, we can sit down and have a conversation about how racism is not a personal issue, but a systemic issue. And just knowing that when you meet somebody, you have a shared set of values you can operate from is absolutely amazing. And so this institution has not only shaped me as a person, but it's shaping my students now. Somebody here is in the TRIO program. Where'd she go? Oh. Yes. And when you stopped me today and said that my students were talking about my classroom still, that speaks to my heart. That speaks to my heart. The style of education we get at Evergreen, the interdisciplinary, the service-oriented, like there's nothing else like it. If you look at your program, one of the interesting things is the panel that I'm with teachers. There are 5 teachers, and 4 of us are double dippers. We got our bachelor's degree here, and then came back for our master's degree. We had a choice, and we chose to came back because this institution is that special. I would say to everybody here, I was able to make it through college with gracious support from my family, from my employer, and from my military service. But not everyone is in that boat. There is no better investment that you can make than the life of a child. And I'll say more specifically, there is no better investment than you can make than the life of a child who is in poverty pursuing higher education. Because when you do that, you are doing an intergenerational change. I have a student, don't use his real name, we'll call him Isaac. And Isaac just wasn't ready last year for college. End of his senior year, he just wasn't ready. I got him in an electrician program at Bates Technical College. Now, he may not go to college, but his family and that trajectory has changed. His children will go to college. His children's children will go to college, and that's the power of education. And so I'm just so honored to be here today. I met Joe Deere once, and I was absolutely blown away by him. He just gave this energy off and this passion off. And just my goal is that one day people talk about me like you all talk about him. Thank you so much.